Anyone? So when we say socio-cultural context, sa tingin ninyo, no? So to what field or to what thing, it is connected to or it refers or pertains to. According kay Daryl, sa bayan natin, of course, so very well. Okay, so it talks about society. Okay, socio-cultural context. Na kung yung biographical context natin last time talks about the biography or the life story of the author towards the context or towards the text, here naman we will talk about the socio-cultural context. Okay, so it has something to do with the culture and the society. Okay, so that's just the outline of the discussion. So socio-cultural context deals with how a particular literary work depicts society. Okay, so all of your answers earlier are correct. Okay, so tungkol sa bayan, it has something to do with culture and society. Okay, so because, just like what I mentioned, socio-cultural context deals with how particular literary works depicts society. Okay? So ngayon naman pag-uusapan natin is about what happened or what is happening in the society. Okay? In relevance to the literary work. So these are the following sources. Okay? So works, okay, books and articles or works of history or sociology that talk about the strengths, weaknesses, and changes occurring in the society during the period in which the literary work is set. So it also another of it is critical works that emphasize the connection between the society and the literary work. Okay, the connection between the society and the literary work. Another one are related literary works around the context of socio-cultural. Okay, so these are the following sources of a socio-cultural context. Okay, so which connect between the society and the literary work. Okay, so one best example of this later on is the the poem entitled "Apo on the Wall" by B.J. Patino. Okay, so but first, I would like you to think about it. No, I would like you to ponder on it. Okay, so strict parents can turn their kids into more effective liars because children who are afraid to tell the truth learn more deceptive behaviors to avoid getting in trouble. Okay, so how are you going to give meaning to this one? Anong pagpapakahulugan nyo dito? Do you agree with this? Okay, agree ba tayo dito? That strict parents can turn their kids into more effective liars because children who are afraid to tell the truth learn more deceptive behaviors to avoid getting in trouble. Okay? So sa tingin nyo, does it really exist? Okay, so tama ba yan? Are you agree with it? Kindly hit the thumbs up button niya kung agree dito. Okay, no, so definitely. So there is no tawag dito, there is no negative thing naman when it comes to being strict, especially for the parents, to their children, to their kids. Okay, but not to the extent na sobra naman. Okay, na sobra na sila natatakot or they are doing something because out of fear. 'Di ba? Because it is good in our feeling that we are doing something because we like to do it. We love to do it. Okay? So it is tawag dito, hindi siya pinipilit. Okay? So talagang kusang loob natin. Okay? So unlike for the other things, no, just like this one, kung mga bagay na hindi nga natin ginagawa but out of fear naman. Okay, so mas maganda pa rin yung hindi natin ginagawa o ginagawa natin yung isang bagay because yun yung gusto natin. Okay, hindi yung hindi nga natin ginagawa but out of fear naman. Okay, so yun yan, being strict parents. But again, no, there is no negative impact naman for being a strict parents for the others, not to the extent lang na sosobra. Okay, having strict parent as a liar, daughter, or son. Okay? So most probably, no, kapag meron tayong mga strict na parents, the common situation happen was parang nagre-rebelde, no, yung mga bata. Tawag dito, more on lies. Okay, para hindi kasi sila mapagalitan. Sabi ni mama, magsabi lang daw ako, tapos pa nagsabi na ako, magagalit naman. Okay, ganun naman talaga yung mga magulang natin. But still, no, we need to, tawag dito, we need to understand them. No, we need to still respect them. They are our parents. Okay, utang natin sa kanila ang lahat at hindi yun mababayaran. Okay, yung utang na loob natin sa kanila. No matter what, gusto lang nila is for our good. Okay, so yun lang yun. Kasi they are parents. Naniniwala akong lahat ng magulang gagawin ng lahat ng ikabubuti ng kanyang anak. Okay? Okay. So now, punta tayo kay Apo on the Wall. This is the best example of a socio-cultural context. Okay? Wherein this certain literary work or this particular literary work depicts what happened in the society no, during that time, way back that time. Okay? So, Apo on the Wall by B.J. Patino. That is the author. No, si B.J. Patino. Okay, the overview of this poem, Apo on the Wall by B.J. Patino, is a poem that talks about the narration of a child's point of view about his rigorous father and the hanging photo around the wall called Apo. Okay? So meaning it came from the child's point of view, no? Yung poem na to. Okay? About what? About his rigorous father and the hanging photo around the wall called Apo. Okay? So meron tayong a photo on the wall. Do you have an idea kaya who is this photo or who is this person? Okay? Ano kaya yun? Yung Apo daw ang tawag sa kanya. Do you have any idea ba? Sino kaya yon? No, that's a person, that's a clue. Nakahang dun sa wall ng kanyang father. Okay, sa office ng kanyang father, no? And tinatawag siyang Apo. Okay? So when we say Apo, no, the word Apo hindi yung bundok, no, hindi rin yung grandchildren. The word Apo here, no, in Hiligaynon language, it means grandfather. Okay? So in Ilocano language naman, Apo means master or sir. Okay, so again, apo, the word apo means in Hiligaynon, okay, it means grandfather. Okay, so while on the other hand, when we say apo in Ilocano language, it means master or sir. Okay, so that is apo. Diba apo wang od? No, yun nandun sa ang huling mambabatok. Okay, so this is the poem Apo on the Wall by B.J. Patino. Okay, so it's a bit short, no, maiksi lang naman siya. So basahin natin. Then try to figure out, no, sa tingin nyo, sino kaya to whom it may concern itong ano na to, itong poem na to. Bago natin ipakita mamaya yung video. Okay, so I will provide a video here, no? So nandun na rin ang what call this one, the explanation, no, of what is the meaning of this video and to whom or to what certain time or period this poem pertains to. Okay, so Apo on the Wall by B.J. Patino. There is this man's photo on the wall of my father's office at home. You know, where father brings his work, where he doesn't look strange, still wearing his green uniform and colored breastplates. Where, to prove that he works hard, he also brought a photo of his boss, whom he calls Apo. So Apo could, hang around on the wall behind him and look over his shoulders to make sure he's snappy and all, or to make sure he's snappy at all. Father snapped at me once, caught me sneaking around his office at home, looking at the stuff on his wall, handguns, plates, a sword, medals, a rifle. Told me that was no place for a boy, only men. When he didn't really have to tell me because, that photo of up on the wall was already looking at me around. His eyes following me like he was that scary Jesus in the hallway, saying, I know what you're doing. Okay? So that is the short poem of Apo on the Wall. Okay? So sa tingin nyo kaya, no, in what particular period or in what particular area, okay, or what particular time, no, does this poem refers to? Merong apo dito. So tingin nyo ay anong trabaho ng father? What do you think is the occupation of the father? Okay? Snappy daw siya at all times. Wearing his green uniform na merong colored breastplates. Ano kayang trabaho ng father? There are guns there.
Sundalo.
Okay, very good. No, the father here is a soldier. Okay, a soldier of what time kaya, no? Of what time kaya siya soldier? Sino kaya yung apo na tinutukoy kaya dito? Nakasabit siya doon sa wall. Okay? So kalimitan ba natin ano yung mga sinasabit sa wall? So for example, in an office, okay? So kapag may nakasabit na wall dyan, na picture, yung ano, mga sundalo, not in the soldiers nga lang, kahit sa mga politicians, okay? So 'di ba may mga nakasabit tayo sa mga different organizations, may nakasabit na picture dyan sa wall. Malaki, nasa gitna siya lagi. Bakit? Sino kaya yun? Or to whom it pertains to, yung photo na yon on the wall. Yung photo na yun, ano kaya yun? Okay? So that photo pertains to the president during that time. Okay? So yung president during that time is called Apo. Okay? Sabi in Ilocano, it's master or sir. Okay? So sino kayang president ang galing sa Ilocos? Who is the president? Came from the northern province. Sino ba? Sino kayang president yan? Tingin niyo. Okay? So the app here talks about no other than Ferdinand Marcos. Okay, during the tawag doon, Marcos regime, during that time. Okay, so ayan siya. Di ba? Parang chinecheck niya lagi kung snappy ba yung mga sundalo niya. Di mo, look how loyal the soldier is. Pati yung photo niya dinala sa bahay nila. Okay? At sa bahay nila, naka-uniform pa din siya, still wearing his uniform. Okay, para pa rin siya naka-duty. Okay? So sabi rin nila, his eyes following me like he was the scary Jesus in the hallway, saying, I know what you're doing. Okay? So bakit kaya yun nasabi? Okay, so malalaman natin mamaya no, sa ating video presentation of the poem no, made by the students no, of certain school. Okay, so nakita ko lang siya sa YouTube and it was very good. No, very good siyang na-relay no, to the audience. So that's up on the wall. Okay, so let's watch this video. No, so this is a 17-minute long video if I'm not mistaken.
There's this man's photo on the wall of my father's office at home. You know, where father brings his work, where he doesn't look strange, still wearing his green uniform and colored breastplates, where to prove that he works hard, he also brought a photo of his boss, whom he calls Apo. So Apo could, hang around on the wall behind him and look over his shoulders. To make sure he's snappy and on.
Sa aking palagay, itong ang naaalala ko kay Marcos ay yung isa siya sa mga pinakamatagal na naging presidente ng Pilipinas at ganun din, isa siya sa palagay ng aking mga magulang na nagkukwento sa akin, isa siya sa pinakamagagaling na Pangulo ng Pilipinas at ganun din, siya rin ang nag-implement ng martial law.
Well, Marcos, for me, is a good leader. He may not be a perfect leader as some other people may think, but for me, he is still the best president the Philippines has ever had.
Ay, mabuti, magaling na presidente yan. At saka, nung panahon niya, marami siyang foresight ng mga proyekto na ngayon ay kasalukuyan ng nakakamit o natatamon.
Maraming magagandang bagay din akong nagawa sa akin. Pero para sa akin, ito yung nagsilbing daan upang maayos ang pamamahala ng iba nating mga kababaan ng ibang nanunungkulan sa gobyerno.
Magulo, tapos biglang binagsak ng masarlo at tumahimik ka. Tahimik nun, nawala ang mga siga, nawala ang mga dunakaw, lahat ng mga hindi magandang nangyari sa ating bansa. Tumahimik. Tahimik kasi busy. Yung mga sundalang panday talaga. Naibigay ng gobyernong Marcos. Yung mga bukid. Ang bukid na pagkalan ng mga mayaman. Hindi pumahagi sa mga mahirap. Land reform. Yan. Ibigay na yung true agrarian reform. Alam doon, ang drugs no. Kaya doon Marcos din.
Masasabi natin na mayroon siyang mga mabuti na nagawa. Marami siyang nagawa bilang Pangulo. Sabi nga, isa siya sa pinakamagagaling na Pangulo. Napaka-intellectual niya at ganoon din ang kanyang mga desisyon, lalo na nung unang-una na siya ay nalulungkulan, ay makikita mo na talaga napakahusay niya pagpapalakad ng Pilipinas.
Father snapped at me once. Caught me sneaking around his office at home, looking at the stuff on his wall. Handguns, plaques, a sword, medals, a rifle. Told me that was no place for a boy, only men. When I didn't really have to tell me because, that photo of Apo on the wall was already looking at me while I moved around. His eyes following me like he was that scary Jesus in the hallway, saying, I know what you are doing.
nung nag-aaral ko bilang nasa unang taon nga ako ng high school noon, nagulat nga kami nung programa na nilang martial law. Hindi naman namin na naramdaman noon yung batas ng militar na yun. Kasi nga, malayo kami dito sa aming pamilya. Doon ako sa LCL, no? sa LSU, doon kami nag-aaral. Hindi rin namin naramdaman.
Ang pangkalahatang kapaligiran nung panahon ng martial law sa Pilipinas ay para kang isang kapaligiran na para kang nakatungtong sa bato. Kasi lahat ng kilos mo, lahat ng gagawin mo, lahat ng sasabihin mo ay kailangang maging maingat ka. Sapagkat kung hindi mo malalaman sa iyong kapaligiran ay mayroong nagmamanman at basta ka na lang maaaring hulihin o di naman kaya ay matagpuan ka na lang patay sa iba't ibang parte o sa iba't ibang mga lugar.
We have no super highways. We have no cemented roads when I was still young. But when I reached Manila at the age of 16, I have seen the sprawling and this extensive cemented roads, highways, super highways in northern Philippines down to the Quezon province. And I can say that these are all the achievements of Marcos. Students at that time were used by demonstrations, by protesters in UP getting students to support them in their advocacies. Well, maybe those negative feedbacks about Marcos were only given by people who were directly victims of unjust practice if they think that is an unjust practice.
Nung panahon ng martial law, nakakabuti eh. Bakit ka mo? Walang nakakalat dyan sa daan. Ang percentage ng criminality ay napakababa. Mababa or talagang mababa yun. Sa kabuuan, nung panahon na yon, tahimik, peaceful. Pero ayon sa mga katulad ng mga nabiktima ng martial law, mga illegal detention, yan, ay hindi ko na masasabing fully peaceful. Pero sa percentage mas malamang ang peace, ang tahimik, payapa. Kasi nga, walang mga krimen eh. Wala yun.
Kaya yun pa, buong bansa na. Eh, talaga pag nahuli kayo, kumuro ka. Napaka-ikit ka. Maganda.
During the Marcos regime, no policeman, no soldier has ever been implicated in drugs syndicate. No police or law enforcer has ever been implicated in rape. In, how do you call this, in kotong-kotong. Are you familiar with the kotong-kotong? There were no policemen who were implicated with those cases. Dollar rate was only 7 pesos at the time, until now that it has reached 50 plus. Those are the things I can remember very well about martial law. I am not even aware, I'm not very sure if those liquidation, sedition, what else, yung mga pinapatay sa labas na unreported killings, I don't know if they really exist or not. I haven't witnessed those things.
Merong pinsang buo yung mother ko at merong asawa yon na lalaki at yung bayaw niya na yon sa pinsang buo ay tahasan na sinasabi ang kanyang opinyon tungkol sa gobyerno ni Marcos. Hindi maganda yung kanyang mga sinasabi at meron siyang paninindigan, meron siyang kinaaniban na isang grupo na lumalaban sa rehimeng Marcos. At nung panahon nga na yun, isa siya sa mga nakulong sa piitan at tinawag nga sila na isa siya sa mga political detainees.
Chained and blindfolded. Haven't we became like this for years? Demoted as captives and prisoners, deprived from reality. Free and limitless, like a bird soaring high. Isn't this what we wanted?
Since we did not experience martial law, the poem is an eye-opener of what the victims went through. It serves as a reminder to us about our country's past and helps us appreciate more the freedom and democracy that we have now.
F. Shamil Jose once said, "We write from life and call it literature, and literature lives because we are in it." Like what is asserted in the poem, it gives us message about the past, the life of every Filipino back then, hoping that we could heal our past by correcting our mistakes today.
This poem is important to the present and to the next generations for its purpose. It serves as the living key to know the unimaginable condition that we didn't experience of what the martial law's victims went through.
During the martial law, access to the reality was hard to reach for there was a ban in using telecommunication devices. But in the present, everything has changed for good. Freedom of expression is already practiced, and social media can be used to express oneself.
To express oneself!
Awakening. Filipinos should be aware on what's happening in our country, especially in our past, so that we could learn and avoid doing the same mistakes again. In our present generation, media would be the easiest way to awaken every one of us. I think that is one of the essence of the program, to establish social awakening through the use of media.
Social awakening then paves the way for Filipinos to fight against oppression. And today, technology has helped us spread words like wildfire that we Filipinos have every right to enjoy freedom, and no master, no sir, no apo could ever deny us of that.
Apo on the Wall tells us what it's like during Marcos's time, about the chaos brought out by the power given to one man, how people band together to overcome such issue. The poem made us realize that we should continue fighting for what is right.
The greatest achievement we can give ourselves and our country is reaching the goals we all set for our society's betterment. Through that, we can say that at last we won at life, and that finally, we made it.
These are his achievements as well as his flaws. One should choose, one should decide. Because the darkest places in hell are reserved for those who maintain neutrality in times of moral crisis.
Alright, so that's all about no Apo on the Wall by BJ Latin. Okay, so yan, si Ferdinand E. Marcos, the martial law regime. No, September 21, 1972, nagsimula ang martial law. No, at ito ay authoritarianism, kung saan sinasabi na siya ay naging dictator. Okay, but I am in no place not to say such a thing because I do not experience anything of that, no, in that moment. Okay, so on the only thing na nakikita na natin is yung mga nababasa natin. And we wonder kung is it true or not. Diba? So yung mga kapagsabi lang is yung mga nakaranas those times. Okay, so meaning it depicts the society, right? So pagdating nung panahon ng martial law. Okay, kaya siya sociocultural context siya. It is our best example of sociocultural context. So you're going to answer this guided question sa Genyo. Assignment na lang to. Sa Genyo ninyo yan. Okay, so kindly look for 21st century up on the wall activity. 1 to 4 lang yung questions na yan, 5 points each. No? That will serve as your assignment na lang. Okay, so syempre bilang pangwakas, okay, I would like you to have this food for thought. Accept the past without regrets. Handle your present with confidence and your future with fear or without fear. Okay, so I think that would be the last slide. So that would be all for today. Let's call it a day. Goodbye and God bless everyone. Okay, so stay safe.
Bye, sir.
Okay, see you next week.
Ay, sir.
Okay, don't forget your activity ha. Assignment na lang yan.
Apo.
Okay, bye-bye.